Alright, so in this video I just want to continue on something I was working on. I had a video here on my website, omarvision.com. I just finished this tutorial where I kind of made like a character, a humanoid, like Frankenstein. Basically I was saying how to connect two meshes. So this is the model. Let me just download it and let me put it on my desktop right there so that I could open up Blender, and then I want to export. Here's Blender. Double click, open up Blender. Hello, and then open that model, Franky. All right, so here I have a model, Franky, and it's a humanoid. Nice. Okay, and right there, the base, those are their feet. So I'm gonna use it, and I wanna add some animations to it, but instead of doing it here in Blender, I'm gonna use Mixamo.com. So let me just export this as an FBX. All right, I just need the mesh, and let's export this to the desktop too. Okay, and that should be that. So here's the FBX. Now I'm going to go back to the internet, and I'm going to go to Mixamo.com to get some animations. And you know, Mixamo is really great that it's free and it does all this. You just have to sign in, continue, continue, and then you could log on. All right, so here's the site, and what happens is the models that I make, I could upload them here. So first I want to upload a model, and you see here it takes FBX, so I'm just going to drag and drop this here. And then it's going to upload to the Mixamo website, and voila, here he is. And I think he's facing the right way. So now I say next, and it's going to ask me where to put the different parts of the body. So I'm going to say this is the chin, these are the wrists, these are the elbows, these are the knees, and here's the groin. All right, and there's a skeleton type. I have 3 fingers, so I'm going to pick 3 fingers. 1, 2, 3. All right, and then I'll say next, and here's the wonderful part, is it's just going to make the bones and set them up for the model all automatically. It's going to automatically rig the whole model with bones. And it could take up to 2 minutes, but there you go. And he's rigged up with his bones, and now you can see that it's already playing a default animation. So now I say next. The 3D characters are uploaded. Blah, 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 blah. Please proceed with this new character. Yeah, okay. So now it's going to show the model here, and what I could do is pick different animations to play with it, but let's just download the character by itself, Franky. So if I want to use it in a game, so I'm going to download this, and I'm going to use it in Unity, so I'll say FBX for Unity, and then I'll download the model again from, even though I just uploaded it. And what I'll do here is I'll just make a folder for all my Franky animations. So in here, this is the model from Mixamo, just in the T-pose, and I'll save it. And now I'll look for some animations. So one of the first things I want is the idle animation. So I'll just type in idle, and now there's many different idle animations it could show me. And if I click on them, I could see how they look. Oh, my fingers look all messed up. But what could you say? Maybe I didn't give enough joints on the fingers. Let's see. I just want something idle. This is kind of an aggressive idle, like if he's going to be fighting or something. How about just standing there idle, like it was in the other one? Or standing and breathing. So I'm going to pick one. And the one I'm going to pick is this. So now what I would do is I could download this animation. Download. FBX for Unity with skin. I already have the skin from other model there, so I could say without skin. And 30 frames per second. Okay, download. And now this is going to download the idle animation that I picked, and I'm putting it in the folder with Franky. So there's one animation I could have. Then let's see what else. I'm probably going to have a walk animation, so let me find something with walking. So with the walking animations, there's this little thing here called in place. So the walking animation could actually do transforming, or I could take off the transformations and it just stays in one spot. So let me just pick a walking animation and hold the in place. So the one I'm actually going to pick is the orc walk, and I'm going to check the in place because in the game in Unity I'll transform myself. So I'll download this animation too without skin. I'll download this one to the Franky folder, save it, And then I'll look for another one like running. So if he's going really fast, then I could have a running animation. So let's type run. And there's many to choose from. Running is another one that I could keep in place. And here, for all you people that like Naruto, da 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 da. Not sure. Yeah, this one looks like a nice peppy run, and I'll download that. Running, save it. Let me think what else I could possibly have here is probably jumping. So let's see what we got for jumps. And here we go. This looks like landing from a jump. Oh, jumping off something. This is jump up and jump down. Let's look for a good one. Alright, so I kind of find that I like this one. I just jump up and jump down. So I'm going to use this one. Download this one. Save it to the Franky folder. Save. Alright, so I can move around and I can jump. So we could always come back and download more animations. But for now, let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at these things. So I'm going to close this up. And then I'm going to open up Unity and start trying to add these into a playable character. So let's just make a 3D project. Mixamo. And create. And then I get my brand new 3D project, and let me just add something, a floor, 3D object, cube, and the floor, I'll just make it have a size big enough so we don't fall off too easy, 50 by 50. And then I'll just call this floor. Then I'm going to add something there to jump up on. So I'll add another cube. And let's just move the floor down a little bit, -1. All right, we have this cube that we added, and we just give it some size, something to jump on. 4, 4, 4. That's pretty big. Maybe 2. All right, just something to jump on. I don't know how big my character is. Let's see how big the character is that I have. Let's turn this around like this. Remember to turn, you have to use your mouse and the Alt key. So when I press the Alt key, I get the eyeball, and then I press the mouse button to spin around. Let me see, where is that folder? Here's the Franky folder, so I can just drag and drop that with the animations into my game. And now, let's see, the Franky here is the one that has the model. So there's our model. So first thing we want to do before we do any of the animations is, let's make sure, what is this? Oh, I clicked on that. All right, yeah, so it's Franky and the 4 animations that I have. So if you look at any of these animation things, it just has the rig and the animation keys. The rig and the animation keys. So anyway, here's Franky. There is no animation on this one. If I press play, he's not going to move or animate yet. I should set the camera up. So let me select the camera and then press Control Shift F. And now you can see the camera is looking the same way. All right, so first let's make an animator. An animation controller is what we need. An animation controller, and this is going to be for Franky, so I'll call it Franky. And let's double click on the animation controller, and here you can see it opens up something where we could put all our animations in. So what's going to be the default animation is idle, so I'll just stick that one in first, and that one turns orange. Okay, so now here we are, we have an animation. Let's just drag this window and put it down here. All right, so we have it together. We have this animation now, idle, and we want to attach it to, actually let me put this like right here. All right, so that I have space organized. Now if I want to move the animation window around, I just click in the, I have to right click in the gray. No, what do I do? I have the mouse wheel, click in the mouse wheel, and I could drag this around. Scroll the mouse wheel and I could zoom in and out. So I have this here, I have Franky over here, but if we look in at the model, we need an animation controller on him. So can I just drag this here? Bam, animation controller. All right, and it has the idle animation as the default. Now if I press play, I think he should animate the idle animation. And he's going to do it once, twice, and then he's going to freeze because we have to loop the animation. So here we have a choice to loop the animation. If I click here of the idle animation, and then in the inspector window, click animation, there is a, where is it? Loop time. So I could loop the animation. It just keeps playing over and over. And what other kind of things are here that may be interesting are the start and the end times, the Anyway, I click loop. I better press apply. There we go. So now he should loop over and over again with the idle animation. And I'll just get a little bit closer with the camera and then press Control Shift F. I'm going to add the walking animation here as a second one. Now, this is a second animation. It's not highlighted in orange. So how do we go from playing the idle to the walking animation is we can make a transition. To do that, we have to say where we're going to transition from, press a right click and say make transition. Now I have this little line that I could connect to the animation I want to go to next. This one here, bam. And when will it go there? Let's click on the transition itself. And there are some conditions that we could put here. So let's make a parameter that's going to be a condition. So I click on the parameters part, and I'm going to name this walk and press enter. Oops, that was looking. I have to actually go like this, and I'm going to make a boolean. Okay, and I'm going to call it walk. Sorry. And now over here, the condition, I could pick one of my parameters. I only have one. So it picked walk is true, then I'm going to walk. And then if walk is false, I'm going to make another transition to go back. And here, walk will be false. So this will transition between the two animations. Now I press play to start playing the game. And he's playing the idle animation. And then when I click on the walk, it switches to, it didn't switch to anything. Ugh. Well, first thing, let's make the walking one loop as well. And then say apply. And now let me just check over here. I got this transition. When walk is true, it's going to go to walk. Oh, there is something to note. This is why it didn't like happen right away. See, there's an exit time. This idle animation has a number of frames. It's going to play all of them, or should it just stop playing them and go to the next animation? So I'm going to uncheck this has exit time. So it's going to switch right away when I change the parameter value to true. And then the same thing, this one is going to go right back to idle when walk goes to false. Okay. Now I'm going to press play. And if I do the walk, bam, he starts walking. He's such a happy soul. And then if I uncheck it, he goes right back to idle. This and this. All right, cool. So that's nice, except, you know, we're going to do a blend tree. It's a special kind of animation. So let me delete this here. And I could delete my parameter here. And I can actually delete this too. I'm going to delete all these guys, delete them. Now what I'm going to do is a blend tree to blend between idle, walking, and running. So he could smoothly change between the two instead of just like the way that you saw that he just jumped between the two. So what I have to do is right click here and I could say create state new from blend tree. And now I have a blend tree. Now this blend tree is an animation state, but to go inside the blend tree and set multiple animations for it, I just double click on it. And you can see right here, it said base layer blend tree. So now I'm looking at the blend tree. Remember, use the middle mouse button to move this around. And over here on the side, we have the ability to, let's see, add motions. A motion is an animation. So we want to add 1, 2, 3. We want to add at least 3. So I'm going to say add motion and, what am I looking at? I got to click on the blend tree. Okay, so here I have one motion and I could say that this is idle. All right. And then I'm going to add another motion. Now there's 2 of them and I could say the second one is walk. All right. And let me add a third motion, and this is going to be running. So I have 3 motions, and as you can see right here, for each of these motions, there's a little triangle hill that goes up and down, and the middle between the two is when it's going to blend the 2 animations. The computer's going to do it. So we're going to have these threshold values that idle is when the value for the blend, it just made a parameter here for us, is 0. We're going to just uncheck this because I want to control the parameters to go from -1 to 1. Okay, -1 will be like I'm going backwards, and a 1 will be like I'm going forward. So I did do add motion from here. I could also do it from over here with this plus, and I could add a motion, boom. And I want to put this one up here because I'm going to use the awk walk. There's another way to add them, but I like doing it like this. And over here will be the run, the running. All right, so you can see this is the backward. This is going to be -1. And then the walking is going to be -0.5. And then idle will be 0. And then we'll go the other way, 0.5 positive and 1 positive. So we'll have all these values to switch between all these animations, okay? Now, if I press play, let's just make this have more space. I'm going to put this here, okay? Because now we have all these different animations. As you could see, when the value goes from -1 to 1, it's going to play combinations of the different animations. So let's press play right here. And I wonder if I don't know if I put, so now he's like idle. And if I go forward, he's not running. What did I miss? What did I miss? Something's wrong. First off, let me just here go back and take a look at running and make sure it has looping on. Okay, apply. So running, walking has to have looping, good, and idle has to have looping, good. Check. Now, I'm just going to check over everything. Now, go back to the animator, and I have these three things. Let's look back at the base layer where we go here. Yep, this is the default. So the default thing is it's going to play the blend tree. Now, let me look at the blend tree. Here is the tree. These are the values for the blend. All right, and this thing here, this is the speed of the animation. So walk goes forward and running goes forward. Not if I do this. Not if I say -1. Then it's going to actually play in reverse, and that'll make it look like it's going backward. Let's fix that. So this should have been working. I expected it to work. Let's press play again and check it out. So this is a -1 right now. He should be going backwards. And he is just playing the idle animation. He's not changing. So what's up? Well, when in doubt, simplify. This is a good programming method. If I added too much, let's just simplify down. So let me take off these extra ones here, the running and this running right here. Let me take them off. Just simplify down and see what happens. And let's even take off this. So now we just have it's either idle or I'm walking. Okay, from 0 to 1. Okay, idle or I'm walking. Just two animations. I press play. And I could do this little red arrow. Can I do this little red arrow? Yep. And when I go to the value of 1, it's not blending, and I really don't, I don't know why. All right, let's see what happens. Let me press play. Again, I saved the scene and everything. Press play. And here's idle, and you can see he's starting, and he does the walk. But you can see he kind of blends between the two as the values go up slowly and down. All right, that seems to work. Now let me just start adding stuff back in. So let me add another motion, put this one up here, and this one's going to be walk again, but it's going to be -1 to go backwards, and this will be -1, 0, 1. All right, let me save everything. File, save. Is there an apply button here somewhere? No. All right, so press play, and here's idle, and I could walk forward, or I could walk backwards. All right, so far so good. I don't know what was happening before. Now let me add another motion, and this one could be the running. Okay, so now this is 0.5, and full speed run is going to be 1. And on the other end, let me add another motion. Okay, and this one's going to be running as well, but it's going to be backwards, so -1, play in reverse. So idle is, all right, the numbers like moved around on me here. This is -1, this is -0.5, and this is 0, and this is 0.5, and this is 1. Just checking all the numbers. Now I'm going to press play and try this one. So first he's walking, and then he's running, or goes backwards, and then he's going like that. All right, good. So I have this animation tree set up back here. All it has to take is a value from -1 to 1. So on Franky, let's add a script. Okay, so we're going to create a C# script, new script, and we'll just call it Franky to control Franky, and create and add it. Let's go back to the project window, and let's type up the script to control the animations. All right, so I just want to gut that. And you can see this is bright and this is dark. The dark ones aren't used yet. I'm going to take them out. So I'm starting from scratch. First thing I need is a pointer to the animator. So public, or I could say private. Private animator anim equals null. If I said public, then I could set it in the script, which, all right, let's just do it like that. It's easy. Public. And I also want to know how fast I'm going to move around. Public, float, move speed, doot, 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 move speed, doot, doot. speed equals, let's just start with 3.5 f, and public float turn speed. This is like angular speed here, so I'll just say 120 f. All right. Now I'll have a private void update. Update is part of model behavior. It's an event. It happens every frame of the game. So here I'm just going to read float horizontal equals Input.GetAxis horizontal. This is basically going to read any horizontal input, which is, WASD, the joystick, or the arrow keys. Vert equals Input.GetAxis vertical. So I'm going to use the vertical for moving back and forth. So vertical for moving back and forth. So that would mean that this game object, this dot transform dot translate, and it'll be in the forward direction, vector3 dot forward, times the move speed. So control how fast I move forward or backward, times horizontal, no, times vertical, sorry, vertical, times time dot delta time. And this should get me moving back and forth. Let's see that. And this has nothing to do with the animations yet. This will just be moving my character back and forth with the arrow keys. Okay, good. And now the next thing is turning. So for turning, I'm just going to take this dot transform dot the local rotation, the object's own rotation, times equal. I'm gonna multiply the rotation. Quaternion dot angle axis. Now for this, I'm going to use horizontal, the horizontal input. Horizontal times the turn speed that we had the user put in, times time delta time. And the axis we're going to rotate around is vector3 up. That's like straight out the head, And that should move and turn now. So save that. Now let's look in Unity and press play and see if we could move and turn. So I could move and I could turn. Hello, goodbye. All right, good. Now we're just going to add playing the animations on that. So, let me just go back to Unity. Here on Franky, the script, it says going to define the animator. So let me just drag and drop the animator on there. Bam. All right. So now inside the script, what I want to do is I want to feed the vertical value to the animator, because the axis values go from -1 to 0 to 1, which is perfect because that's just what our blend tree is going to take, those values. And let's just remember the controls here. This is WASD, or the arrows, or if you have a gamepad, it's the left analog. Okay, that's what these controls are right here. So for the anim, which is right there, that's our animator. This thing right here, that's this animator, and this is the value that we're going to feed into it, the blend value. So I'll say anim dot set float. The value is called blend. Ooh, I got to spell it right. Blend, and what I'll feed into it is the vertical. So that should play the appropriate animation, okay, from the blend tree that we just made. So now let's see if I press play, and yo, I should plug in a joystick so I could do the controls, but he's moving too slow. So that's fine. We can just increase the speed over here to like 6. And let's see how that looks. Still feels like kind of slow. Fine. Let's give him 10. Play. That looks better. Now let me go grab my joystick and plug in my joystick. I want to see how it looks with the analog stick. Hold on. All right, I grabbed my joystick. I plugged it in. And let's see. You see right down here, I plugged in a gamepad F310. That's the Logitech that I bought from Target, actually. All right, so here we go. I'm going to move forward and backward, and nothing's happening. Why? Why aren't you listening to my joystick? Oh, I'm not sure if I have to have the joystick connected before I start or after. Let me see. I'm not sure about this, but let me restart my. I'm going to restart Unity. Let me just save everything I have here, because I don't know if it's like I had to have it plugged in when I started Unity, because it's not reading the joystick analog. It's reading the buttons, but not the analog. So let's see what's happening. I'm going to restart Unity. And here it is, the Mixamo example. All right, now let's try press and play, see what goes on. And it's still not working. See, I could use the pad, but not the, I'm using the pad, but not the analog stick like I want. Anyway, that's another tutorial. I have an input tutorial. So he could move, and that's using the blend tree. Now if I want, I could do a jump. So let's do that. Let's put this here for a minute. So we can have them both. And where's my animations for Franky? I got jumping, right? So let me put a jump in here. Boom, jump. This is just going to be the rudimentary jump. I'm going to make a transition to jumping. And then when the jump finishes, it's just going to go back to that. So I need a variable, a parameter. So the jump is just going to be a trigger. And I'll call it jump. Okay, and then here it will be. Here is the trigger for jump right there. And this jump is going to have an exit time. I want the whole animation to play. Let's see how it looks when I press play. So here we are. I do the jump trigger, and nothing happens because, dude, I have the wrong place. All right, so here from the blend tree coming out, it has to be no exit time. Then the jump coming back, that's this one, there could be an exit time. All right, correction made. Now press play. So I press play, and then I do the jump trigger. There you go. Okay, so let's do that in the script, which I closed it. So let's just open it again, Visual Studio. Visual Studio. All right, so this is the movement. Let's just come down here and do the jump. So this is moving, and this is going to be the jump. For the jump, I'm just going to do if input.get key down. Let's make it the space bar. Key code dot space equals true. Then we're going to jump. So we'll do anim dot set trigger. That was a trigger parameter, so I use set trigger, and I called it jump. Was it with a capital? Yep, it was at a capital J. Jump, and that's all you have to do. Okay, and the animation should play. So I go back here, I press play. Okay, I could jump. I can move forward. Let's jump. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And there you go. I'm using Mixamo to make my animations of character. La-di-da.
Wow, you made it to the end of the video. I'm so proud of you. Maybe you want to see more videos, and maybe you want to check out my website, omarvision.com, where, in the tutorial section, it's a collection of all the videos I've ever made, and these blue links are the actual projects, and the orange links under the videos are the actual assets that are used in the videos. And if you want, you could also search here, much easier for things. If you're looking for something, you type in a word and press search, and it will reduce the videos that show anything about what you just typed in. Hey, drop me a like, drop me a subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.